What up? This is Robert Ory.
Ory, three-pointer. Buries it.
You might know me as Big Shot Bob.
To Ory for three. Oh, unbelievable. This guy is off the charts.
What's going on, Big Shot Bob?
Robert Ory from downtown.
What is going on, Big Shot Bob? Or Rob. Rob. It is the Big Shot Bob podcast. B-Dog Brandon Harper. I'm a roster and starting depth analyst. Rob Jenners, not really. And that, of course, is seven-time NBA champion, Robert Ory. Oh, my goodness, we have a lot to do. Dude, there's so much going on. Where do you want to start with what you brought up before the show? Because I didn't even know that was a thing. I didn't know that was a story.
Oh, no.
No? Okay.
No.
Good. So we'll put that in our pocket. We won't talk about that. Okay, good. First edit of the show, 1 minute in. Very nice. Very nice. Do we want to start with what you texted us the other day?
No. I don't even think we need to discuss it.
Do we even want to talk about it?
No.
Okay.
No, we should just move on from it.
I'm good.
Yeah.
I'm good.
Why not?
Because,
is it
really worth our time?
It isn't. I'll give you the 5-second breakdown.
We like to have fun on this show.
That's 100% right.
So we just have a good time. We deep dive into some things every now and then, but so let's just have fun and keep it us.
Yeah. So Gilbert got mad at us, and I don't even actually us is probably the wrong word. Gilbert got mad at me. He spent 7 minutes on Instagram saying why I was wrong about him saying some of the guys don't start for the FIBA Team USA. Dude, I mean, I'm with Rob 100%. I really don't care. And no offense to Gilbert, dude, go do your show, go have fun, go do whatever it is you do. I hate the idea of like this is hot takes. It's first take. Everyone's got to fight about their take, and then when you don't agree with my take, we're going to double down on. No, that's not who we are. It's never been who we are. We have fun. We goof off on this show. And trust me, if you're going to do a video about all the shit I've gotten wrong, you got a lot of videos to do, bro. You got a lot of videos to go through. Because I'm just a fan. I'm not an expert. I'm no analyst. I'm just a fan. Yeah. That's all. I'm going to get shit wrong.
And first of all, there's no analyst that's an expert.
Hell
it's just their opinion.
Everybody's talking out of their ass. Come on now. You should know that, Gilbert. Everybody's talking out of their ass. All right, well, let's move on from that abruptly then. I guess we should start.
Let's Harp, you have something to say?
No, I just thought it was funny.
I thought it was funny too.
The
fact that he took like the time to come at us and talk about us. So,
here was the one
Gilbert,
sticking.
I'm a fan of you, Gilbert. So I don't.
Dude, I like Gilbert. I got nothing on Gilbert. I don't know why he's all sideways with us, but I got no problems with Gilbert. I
think he got offense when I say you don't argue with idiots, and I'm not going to.
Yeah, because a lot of the comments that came in were the idiot sent me.
Yeah,
stuff like that.
I apologize, Gilbert, for calling you an idiot. It's just a statement. It wasn't directed at you, but I'm not going to argue with someone that I shouldn't argue with. That's all. So I apologize for calling you an idiot.
He's got a good show. Yeah. Like he does that Fubo show he's got good
He
partner.
spends a lot of money on his backdrops in his studio, so
he does a good job. And Josiah Johnson
3 men in the garage.
Exactly. Josiah Johnson's been on this show, and that's his partner. And we love Josiah, man, dude. He's the king of NBA Twitter, man. He is hilarious. So, dude, I got no hate for Gilbert. He can be mad at us if he wants. I got no hate for that guy. I guess we will talk to his point though a little bit. Team USA.
Yeah.
That didn't work out.
Well, we all knew going in that this wasn't our best team, and all these guys are great players, on their respective teams, but I just think this wasn't our best players. You think about it. You got the Boston crew, you got the Golden State crew, you got the Phoenix crew. Think about it. That's 8 players right there. That might be on the Olympic team. And so then you take LA. That's 2 more players. Think about it. That's 10 guys already that we could put on that team to take the place of some of these guys on this team. But don't get me wrong. I think those guys are really good that was on this team. And for him to give him for people to say that they're bums is just, and that they're not a good team. No, we just have better players than those guys. Those guys are great players, but you just have players that are a little bit better than them.
Yeah, I mean, I knew they weren't our best players, and obviously it showed. Part of me is just sitting there like, okay, cool. They didn't win the gold. They didn't even medal.
Yeah.
So it's not even the fact that obviously you have high expectations when it comes to U.S. and playing international. And, you should always have it because I still think overall we have the best talent.
Yeah.
But, dog, you don't even medal. That's another issue. And even if this isn't your best talent, you all are still some of the most talented guys in the world. And they believe that. You don't medal. That's a problem.
Yeah.
Hey,
I don't care if you're B or C players. You don't medal. That's an issue for the United States.
But it goes to show you that when we talk about experts, everybody said it was going to be Canada and the U.S. and the gold and silver. They end up in the bronze and no medal.
And nothing.
So on any given day in this series, you get a team that gets hot. And let's just talk like Dennis Schroeder. Dennis Schroeder was killing everybody.
Dude, Schroeder with the he hit the dagger against them. I'm going to play you the audio because you brought up Schroeder. Hang on. Listen to the audio of Schroeder hitting the dagger.
Schroeder steps back. Count it! The Germans are taking a 6-point lead.
Oh, my God, that guy's fired up. Hold on.
The Germans are taking a 6-point lead.
That dog is fired up.
But if you watch us on Spectrum, everybody knows how much I would talk about Schroeder and how he plays in the summer on his team. And why doesn't that just translate to the NBA season? And I'm like, dude, what the hell, man? These is totally two different players. And I know it. You are the star on Germany, so you're allowed to do more things. And when you come here, you take a back seat to, like when he was in LA, to LeBron, to everybody on the team, and AD. But he's a totally different player when he has no holds barred. He is going out and just shredding up people. They should call his ass a shredder.
because what he's also allowed to do, and like you said, he's the guy where, what was that, a couple of games ago, he went 0 for something. Mm-hmm. Like he couldn't hit a shot. Well, here in America, if he does that, his shots are already limited. If he does that, they're going to be even more limited.
He's going to be on the bench.
Right, exactly. But when you're over in Germany and you're the guy, I can live to fight another day because I'm still going to get the same amount of shots. So that's the difference.
Yeah, I know it's a difference, but it also boils down to confidence. When you're the star, you automatically have confidence. But when you know you're not the star and you say, "Oh, I got only this much of a window to make a mistake," it limits you on what you want to do and makes you second guess yourself. And so this is what every kid out there, if you want to play this game, you got to believe in yourself and have the confidence to go out. Don't worry about missing a shot. Don't worry about, not being perfect. Just go out and be you.
Yeah, I agree. But, I mean, dude.
The Germans are taking a 6-point lead.
He was fired up, dude. He was fired up. I like that guy. That's a good call. I mean, I'm with you. It's good for Schroeder, though. You know what I mean? It's nice for him to have that moment on a big stage because of everything that he went through. And Lord knows we bagged Schroeder plenty on this show for fumbling the bag when he did. You know what I mean? Look, good for him, man. I like to see a guy have that kind of success. And you mentioned it. It was breaking almost immediately after they lost that game to Germany. I think it was Shams that broke it. LeBron James plans to commit to Team USA next summer along with Steph, Kevin Durant, Anthony Davis, Jason Tatum, and Draymond Green. Separately, Phoenix's Devin Booker, Portland's Damian Lillard, Sacramento's De'Aaron Fox, and Dallas's Kyrie Irving also have serious consideration in committing. And the tweet of the night was, all of this to beat Dillon Brooks.
But you know what, though?
I thought was awesome.
But you know what, though? This is what I want. This is what you want to see for the Olympics.
Yes, 100%.
Those guys, I don't think there's any other guy that was on this FIBA team, maybe outside of Anthony Edwards, I could care less if they're on that Olympic team. Really, honestly, because this is what you need. I think they sat back and realized that, this performance on the world stage, even if it was FIBA, no, we're not doing this in the Olympics. LeBron said, I'll come back. I'll build this team. I'm going to recruit my guys, and we're going to go out here and represent this country like they should. There's only one name on that list. Talent-wise, he should be there, but for other reasons, he shouldn't. And that's Anthony Davis. Sit your behind down somewhere. You do not need to be anywhere near anything USA.
Carefully sit your behind down somewhere.
I think, I think for me, if You said Ant-Man. I think Triple J should be on that team just for
defensive purposes.
Yeah, okay.
Because, if you look at the way these teams are constructed across, it's like old school basketball. Big, strong, physical. All of them, and I say this, I mean, like prototypes of LeBron, big, strong, physical guys. And if you look at the way the FIBA team was constructed, man,
they were
everybody
small.
was, they was little. They were light in the ass, like we would say. They didn't have any muscle outside of Portis. And Portis he's still not a big, strong guy like, LeBron and all the other guys. But I think it's going to be a fun. But I really have to say this. I don't want LeBron to play in the Olympics.
I get that.
I just think that he's done enough for this country. He's done enough in his career. And if he plays, I'm happy. But I think that spot could go to some other superstar that's out there. Let's say like, whoever it may be, and let them get a chance to shine. But if he plays, yeah, I'm happy. But when you got that many miles on your body, do you want to continue to put more miles on your body? But when you try to still build something, as far as if he's going, who knows? That might be a swan song out the league. Who knows? Because that's, a couple of years down the line, but who knows? I wouldn't want him to play. Can
he be on the team and not play?
No.
Right.
Not LeBron. LeBron's too competitive.
Ain't no way he's going to be on the team.
Hell no.
For spirit and motivation and not hit the floor. Okay. Yeah, I figured out.
From an optic standpoint, that don't even look right.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's just...
Yeah.
And I say that. Off the bench? Like what? No.
And I say that because we enjoy watching him so much throughout 82 games of the NBA. And instead of to see him just go out for like, what was that, seven games for the Olympics? Then something happens to him in the Olympics, and all of a sudden you miss, 30 games of the NBA season where we can't see your bag and what you can put in the game and what you bring to the game. So it's more me on the selfish part of like wanting to see him throughout the year of an NBA season.
Yeah. But he's allowed to do that because this is the equity that he's built up over his career, knowing his body, taking care of his body. So when he says, hey, I want to do something, it's hard for anybody to go against what he's saying because of how well he's taken care of. Now, he's had some injuries and things here and there, but for the most part, what, 4?
I'm just pulled 4 snaps. That's all I'm going to say. That's all I'm going to say.
4 snaps. You're right. 4 snaps.
And that's my whole point. Just wait, man. Hold it, rest means everything.
But if I had to go, if there's somebody that you got to kind of let be, even if he is older, it's LeBron, because you've been able to trust him this long. Yeah. He's built up that equity. So you just got to kind of let him, he knows.
You let him do what he want to do. But as a person who covers the Lakers, as a LeBron fan, I want to see him in the NBA season, not when we got so many other guys that could be there.
Yeah, that's true.
That kind of segues nicely into something else that was on the sheet. So I'm going to bump it up a little bit. But we saw this from Luka Doncic. So Luka's got that left thigh injury that's still bugging him. He said after they lost to Lithuania, I don't know what to say. It's not okay. And then that just makes me look and go, well, should you have played then? And I know that's his decision to make. Yeah. But it's like, dude, if you're hurting, and I get that there's like a lot of pride in representing your country and you want to go overseas and do this stuff. I totally understand all that. But it's like there comes that point where you go, well, is playing in this worth me missing, 15 games, 10 games at the start of the season because I just don't have the rest to get over, I guess, is a thigh injury something that sticks with you?
Yeah. This is where we need to ask Shaq, because, Shaq has that big divot in his thigh from when he got kneed in the thigh and it never healed right. But for me, I think as an NBA owner, I'm sitting back and I'm telling my guys, hey, you can go play for your country. You can go represent whoever you want to represent. But if you get injured representing your country and you miss time playing for my organization, you will be fined those games you missed. Because this is a conversation I had when I remember, I think it was in 2003 or 4, when it was with the Spurs. I looked at Manu and looked at Tony. I said, hey, I'm all about, believing in your country. But you're messing with my money by going playing for your country. And when you come to the NBA season, you don't have the same gusto. You're tired at the end of the season. You don't have the same legs. I said, don't do it, because now you're messing with our money.
You're messing with my money.
Yeah.
Look at you.
You're messing with my money when it comes to the playoff money. And so
your national pride is screwing with my bank account. I don't like it.
Yeah, but and guys don't understand that. Everybody thinks they're Superman. But shit, that wear and tear on your body, it jumps up on you. Next thing you know, you think you in that fourth quarter, your body just says, can't do it. So I think for me, Luka, he should have just said, I'm not a 100%. I want to represent my country. You should tell your country, this is another situation like other countries where they kind of force you to play. And I don't think he's in a situation like that where he should just say,
I don't think so. If it is, I haven't heard anything about anything like that. But I mean, I'm just like, if you're nursing an injury that isn't getting better, you got to make a decision at some point. And, if that was the decision you made, that's fine. But it just sucks because if it ends up costing Dallas on the front end of the season.
Yeah.
Oh, man, I don't know. That's tough. That's real tough.
And those 3 games he might miss, they lose, could be 3 games to get them in a certain position in the playoffs.
Yeah. I don't think Luka has built up that equity just yet. I mean, I think he's a dynamic player.
He's getting close, but not
He's
quite.
close, but look, dude, last year you didn't have a full season with Kyrie. So you shot some bail a little bit because, hey, you all weren't able to mesh and get the camaraderie down.
Right.
But if you're hurting because you played for your country and that affects you coming into this season, well, that affects you having a full season with Kyrie. This is the whole point of you coming into this season so that you can start from ground zero with Kyrie. So if you're missing time, 15 games or whatever it may be, we don't know. Now you're cutting into what you need to be doing. Now, how long is it going to take y'all to jail now? So you don't have that cachet just yet. I know you're a dynamic player. People say you're a future MVP. Cool. But, bro, we want to see you compete. We want to see you for a full season. They went to go get Kyrie so y'all can be contenders. How you going to be contenders if you're going to end up missing time?
Yeah. Yeah. What would you have done if that's you? Like if you're nursing a little bit of a nagging injury, not a major injury, a little bit of a nag, and they offer you the opportunity to go play for Team USA.
Well, my dream was to make the Olympic team.
That's what I'm saying.
I've told y'all that story. So, but it depends on how severe the injury is.
If it was FIBA though.
No, FIBA, hell no. It's just FIBA. Okay. Not FIBA.
Not for FIBA.
There's no disrespect to FIBA,
but for Team USA
it ain't
to go
a gold
to the
medal.
Olympics, to go to the Olympics though.
Yeah, if it's the Olympics, I'm going.
You're gonna make it
because
work.
it's 4-year deal, and you gotta go out and play, and plus you should know your body. You should go and tell the coaches and whoever, like, hey, watch me. If I start limping, snatch me out. Take care of me, because sometimes athletes don't take care of themselves. They think they can go out and play when they shouldn't be playing. So watch me. I'm giving you permission to snatch me out. If I get mad, get angry, just say, you told me to watch you and then take you out if I see anything that looks different.
Dillon Brooks. We mentioned him earlier. Had a good tournament, man. Played real well. Put up 39 on Team USA in the bronze medal game.
Is that his career high?
I don't know. It might. I don't know if it is, but it's got to be up there if it's not. The one thing that I wanted to mention with him though was he evoked a name that I don't know if you really should have evoked. Quote, "It's just like Kobe Bryant. He had to figure out how to create the Black Mamba, a different person when he comes on the court. I guess that's my persona, the villain." And then he also said he's the best perimeter defender in this tournament in the world in the NBA. So he quickly doubled down on the whole villain idea by throwing that out. But, I mean, evoking Kobe's name, look, man, you're a good player. You play in the NBA. I'm not trying to dump on you. Kobe's another level of human being compared to you on a basketball floor.
Yeah, but I'll say this. It's a lot of players that have invoked Kobe's name when it comes to them doing certain things. So he's not.
Get it. I'm aspiring to do something more than much like Kobe did. I get it. And it's not like he's comparing himself to Kobe Bryant. I do understand that. Yeah, I do.
And it's not even. And the crazy part about it is some of these other players who have brought up Kobe's name can't hold a candle to him. No. So it's just one of those things. Just like people used to bring up Jordan's name.
Yeah.
But
like for Kobe, I don't know, maybe this is just me. I never looked at Kobe as the villain. Like, I mean, he had to create that Black Mamba person. He was a killer out there. I get it. But, I was always rooting for Kobe.
I think
even not as a Lakers fan, I was always rooting for Kobe Bryant.
I think he's trying to talk about, when Kobe was number 8, a lot of players did not like Kobe.
Mm-hmm.
And Kobe didn't give a shit. Because Kobe said, I ain't trying to make friends, I'm trying to win championships. And so a lot of people in this day and age, guys are so used to, they're friendly with everybody. And that wasn't Kobe. He wasn't friendly with it. Hell, he wasn't that friendly with his teammates sometimes because he just wanted to go out and just compete and win. And guys didn't understand that until they sat back and says, they got a chance to talk to him during All-Stars and understand, this is just who I am. I like to play. I like to compete. And just because I'm not friendly with you don't mean I don't like you. And I think this is what he's trying to say.
Okay.
He's going to turn into Kobe later where everybody likes him. I still don't think so because he's already being a villain. And Kobe wasn't a villain. He just didn't talk to nobody. He just didn't relate to nobody, have relationships with nobody. So nobody understood him until they got to really, sit back and look at the big pictures. Like, it ain't him being an asshole. It's just him trying to win. It's trying to him be competitive, him to go out and take people out because it's all about getting that chip. And when you understand that, you understand Kobe.
Yeah. Just I marvel at the idea that he wants to be the villain, though.
Yeah.
Because like we talked about this last week. How far does that really get you?
Yeah.
Ultimately, where does that go? Unless you elevate your game to the point where people just have no choice but to respect you.
But every villain has a hero that they're it's like the new Spider-Man movie where you gotta have a villain, you gotta have a hero. Right. You my nemesis.
Absolutely right.
Nemesis?
Yeah, Spot.
Is he gonna try like LeBron is nemesis?
We should just start calling Dillon Brooks Spot.
Yeah.
He's his nemesis.
Hey, I never even heard
we'll see if it's
villain Spot to this movie.
We'll see what he does in the regular season with the Rockets. He already got his money, so we'll see if that carries over.
He sure did. We also had this story about the NBA cracking down on load management this week.
Clippers.
That's what everybody joked was Clippers are sunk. Clippers are sunk. The NBA's competition committee has recommended stricter guidelines on resting players for national televised games and multiple stars in the same games. The league's board of governors is expected to vote on Wednesday. To pass the measures under the new rules, teams would be fined $100,000 for the first violation, $250,000 for a second violation, and $1 million more than the previous penalty for each additional violation.
The question is, how many teams are going to say, I don't give a shit?
How many Mike Malones are going to be out there?
I don't give a shit.
They don't care?
But for me, it's so weird that this came into play. I remember I think I told you my first couple of years where it came out that Dream was going to rest. It was game 81. And David Stern like, oh, no, hell you ain't. You going to play. And this is game 81 where we could lose the 2 games and still be in our spot. And so, but nowadays, these guys are just like, hey, take this night off. I'm like, hold on. Why? Because it's a back-to-back? Yeah, it's a back-to-back. But I'm happy for this rule because this league is built on guys playing. It's built on, TV money. Now, if these guys aren't on TV and you still want to make 60 million or 80 million, whatever it is these guys make, you got to put the product out there. If you don't put the product out there, you don't deserve to get that much money.
Yeah, teams are gonna find a loophole. There's gonna be some teams that are gonna pay first, second time. Now, eventually, you start getting to the millions, and as much money as these owners have, they're not gonna want to shell out $2, $3, $4 million because players are sitting. Now they're gonna have to stagger these things. The Clippers are gonna stagger them. Hey, bro, Kawhi, I'll sit tonight, and then you can sit tomorrow night, and then we'll figure it out from there. So they'll find the loophole and find their way around it. But I think this is a good way to get these guys on the floor because people pay their hard-earned money to see them. You go to the Clippers come to town, oh, no Paul George and no Kawhi. Bro, what? This is what we came to see, and the NBA knows it. We're not trying to shortchange our fans. We don't care nothing about all that. Get your butt out there and play. You make too much money to be sitting on that bench, Ben Simmons. Oh, my bad.
Wow.
My bad.
Wow.
The NBA is doing everything for these guys, though. From shortening the preseason to not that many back-to-back games. Staying in the city for more than one day. They've done so many things, and these guys are. It seems like he's getting. The more the NBA does, the more they load manage, and it's like you got to find a way. I would have loved to be like a baseball player, like okay, especially when I was in Houston. Are we going to LA? We can play all the LA teams here before we go back, because that's a 3-hour flight, And so even when we used to play Seattle, I'm like, shit, that was like a 4.5 hour flight. Like, let's sit in Seattle and play them in 2 days. Who gives a shit if the fans get mad that, but you're seeing Akeem Olajuwon 2 nights in a row. You're seeing Vernon Maxwell 2 nights in a row. Get that. And so, but it's for me, I like the fact that that's the one thing that I like that they're doing, that you can sit in the city and play them on multiple nights instead of, coming back home and then going back, like a week later and play another team. So the NBA is doing a lot. So these guys should understand that and say, hey, you know what? You giving some, I'm going to give some. And
part of this to me feels kind of to Harper's point, like team ownership coming in and going, yo, if I got the Lakers in town, people are coming to pay tickets to come to my arena to see LeBron James and Anthony Davis play.
Yeah.
You can't be consistently resting these guys when they're out on the road. You just can't do it, because that draw is way too big. And these team owners, they want it, man. If you know that LeBron ain't going to play, or okay, maybe I'm going to sit this one out. Maybe I won't spend the money. Maybe I won't come down,
That good old, that's going to be maybe about 40 sore back injuries this year. Oh, what's wrong with you put? Oh, he has a bad back.
Bad back.
He tweaked it. Because, that's the one injury you can't really say, okay, your back's not, I don't know, because, my knee is swollen. You can look down, elbow, or something like that, but, my back's hurt. You just can't really say, oh, shit. Okay, we just got to trust you on this one.
I'm sort of interested to see. It was kind of like when they started doing the pitch clock in Major League Baseball.
Mm-hmm.
Where early on in the season, everybody's like, I wonder how this is going to go down when it starts to go down, like when people start violating the pitch clock. I'm curious to see what happens when the first set of fines come down. Who catches it, how it goes over, how people react to it. It's just interesting to me.
I say the first team that gets fined will be the Golden State Warriors.
Okay.
But because you got to, it's a player like Clay. You got to protect him from himself. He's getting up in age. He's had significant injuries that kept him out for 2 years. And he's one of those players. He deserves it. So I think sometimes you're going to have to say, hey, we got to take this fine because we need to rest him.
I'd throw $5 on the Phoenix Suns to be one of the first ones to catch one of these.
Who you got, huh?
Kevin Durant in a road game on a back-to-back, and we'll pay the fine.
I got the team I just mentioned.
Lakers?
The Los Angeles?
Clippers.
No. Clippers.
The dang Clippers.
Yes. Because they the reason why this rule in place anyway.
100%, yes. They're the chief offender. Yes.
Yeah.
I need to do a deep dive. And some people were saying that, Pop was the first person that did it. Like, I remember one time I sat out of the game when I was there, and I looked at I said, I'm not hurt. And it says, reason, old age.
No, it didn't.
Yes, it did.
No, it did not. It said it said that on the sheet. It said we sent Rob tonight because his ass is old.
Yeah, that's what they said. It was funny.
That's amazing. Yeah. I wish I could see that. That's hysterical. Yeah, you need to get a copy of that frame. Put that at the
I know. It was like, and most guys, it was like, and they came over to me and it's like, we need to show you something why you missed tonight's game. I'm like, what? It was Tom James, who's, the PR guy, the really cool guy. I love Tom James. And he was like, look, and it said, they didn't say, it just said old age. I just started laughing. It was funny.
No. No. That's awesome. We got some stories about some people pop up this week. Just NBA players, either just stuff that I saw in the news. I wanted to get your take on. I'm going to throw a few of these out. There might be something to these, there might not. The first one was Chris Paul. The story was out this week that Golden State's expecting to find a way to start him. I don't know, like, I thought we were all kind of sort of in this idea that he would be coming off the bench, trying to find a way to work into that offense, but I did not anticipate Golden State working him into the starting five.
That lineup going to be small.
Yes, it is.
Did that throw you, though? Does it surprise you at all? They're going to work him into the starting five?
For me, I'm not surprised because he is the type of person he's a floor general. That's who he is. And if you look at Steph and everybody, we already talked about Steph not being a point guard, a true point guard in the sense of who like CP is. I think CP could make those guys so much better. Get them in a position. Once she learns that system and how, much movement Steph does and to hold that rock and wait to Steph not comes off the first screen, second screen, or the third screen, I think that's a big key. And plus, it's going to be beneficial for Klay because, Steph, we talked about, he's not the master of passing the rock like, Chris Paul is. So I think Chris Paul could find, Klay more often, get him more shots. So I'm looking at that to be beneficial. They're going to be small, but I think that's his best bet because when you that age and once you get that motor going, meaning warming up, it's hard to go over there and sit and then go in the game. So
now I do think when they say working him into the starting lineup, one, how often that is the case.
True.
And number two, obviously, he's going to be leading. Well, no, not even that. He's going to have, obviously he'll be leading that second unit.
Yeah.
So he'll get starter minutes. But he'll be leading that second unit because he's going to have to. Mm-hmm. Steph has done well enough at the point guard position for this franchise, good enough for them to win 4 titles. So, and I understand that Chris Paul is a different type of floor general in the way that he plays. And the way they run around and do all the things that they do within their offense, that's a little different for Chris Paul. So they'll figure out a way to kind of acclimate him in. But I think he'll see him with the starting unit for a certain period of time. But he'll definitely be leading that second unit.
But it's like if you look at this, say we got what Wiggins, Steph, Draymond, and Klay. And that's the main four. So now if you move Draymond to the 5, Wiggins to the 4, Klay to the 4,
3.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
they don't have any other size on that squad.
Looney.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's it. That's it, dude. Right as of right now. But Looney is
that is a team.
That
is a team coached by a guard, isn't it? Holy crap!
Yes, it is.
Holy crap! Wow. But I mean, look, I like Chris. I think Chris is a great player. And I think he's, like you said, he's a true point guard. So I get it if they want to work him into that. But yeah, that is a team coached by guards. The other story that popped up this week that I had to get your take on came from McMenamin at ESPN. Anthony Davis has expressed interest to play more power forward this coming season. Float me to the 4. I don't necessarily need to be the 5.
This is nothing new. He's been saying this since he's been in the league.
I hadn't heard that before.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I hadn't heard that before. But I'm like, okay, Rob, thoughts? Where do you want him?
It's the weirdest thing to me because this basketball now there is no position in basketball.
I guess that's true.
It doesn't matter if you're the 4 or the 5. They're gonna put who they want on you, so it doesn't matter. And it's like, what centers do you have to guard? What forwards? They all think. Let's take Bam. I love Bam. Let's be honest. If Bam came in the league 10 years ago, he's a power forward. He's a center. Yeah. Bam is 6'9". I'm like, there's only 3 centers in the league, and he does. And so it doesn't really matter. It's positionless basketball. We talk about this all the time. I guess you do it, and, let's say, okay, we're going to throw Christian Wood out at the 5. You're the 4. Okay. Well, you're the 4. It doesn't really matter because I
want to see him work in the post, though.
Yeah.
And to me, that's traditionally a 5.
Yeah. Well, no, it could be a 4, too.
I guess it can. Doesn't really matter, but.
Yeah, because old school basketball, power forwards work with that back to the basket.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
We didn't have the stretch 4 and the stretch 5 till later. So,
sorry about that.
You ruined it for everybody. You freaking ruined it for everybody. All right,
this is weird on that. Though. It's just like, I think it's just a mental thing.
I guess maybe.
Put him at the 4.
And plus, with his, even though there aren't many centers, with his injury history, he doesn't want to have to bang with a lot of those guys in the paint. and that's probably the best bet for him. So if he could play power forward, there are some power forwards in the league that are smaller than he is, and he can take advantage of that. And it allows him to roam a little bit more. So I think it might be better for the team. Now, when he's been at center before, he's been dynamic because he's a very versatile center, and not many people can guard him at the 5 position. But even though that might be the case, he don't want to have to go through that physical torture night in and night out.
It's torture. The league is torture in itself, so he'll be all right. I would start LeBron at the 5 and put him at the 4. You're the 4. LeBron's the center now. LeBron, you're jumping ball.
Be careful with how you use he'll be all right, because that's just.
Hey, I'm telling you, he's going to make it. I tell you, you already had that bet. How many games he's going to make it through. I'm telling you.
Let's get to college football real quick before we do our big shot of the week.
Do we have to?
Yeah, no, we do. What happened to your boys, man?
Hey, they're not good. They're not that good, man. Let's be honest. You get to a point where you just, you rebuilding, and like all your guys go to the draft. They need their DBs. Outside of Kool-Aid, their DBs need some work. The quarterback, Milroe, needs a little bit more seasoning. And so the defense needs a little bit more work because your top defensive players are playing on Sunday now. So it's a working process. And pretty much the only thing that Texas lost was their running back. So they came back starving for revenge, and they got their revenge. So, but it's better to lose early than it is to lose late. But, hey, play the Mike Malone, because I don't give a shit, because I am no longer an Alabama fan.
What?
That's a lie.
You a lie.
That's not a lie. I am no longer an Alabama fan.
I don't give a shit.
That ain't true.
It is so true. I'm not talking. I'm gonna rock with another college team. I got a year to figure it out. Wherever Chris goes,
wait.
That's the school.
Oh, your Colorado Buffaloes gear is in the mail, bro. It is in the mail.
No, if Christian goes to Colorado, then I'm a Colorado fan. Wherever Christian goes to school, that's the school I'm repping. It definitely ain't gonna be no fucking Texas A&M, and it ain't gonna be no Alabama. So it's gonna be whatever Chris rocks with, and that's who I'm gonna rock with from here on out. Gabrielle, my stepdaughter. She's a Duck. I might have to go, become a Duck for about a year, but right now I'm not rocking with Alabama anymore.
You're so phony.
I'm not phony, man.
That's phony. That's messed up.
No.
Why?
Why is that messed up?
Why?
No. Why is he bailing on his own?
Why am I bailing? Because number one, this one I understand. They didn't recruit Cameron to play football there. I understand that because I didn't play football.
Man. That's
and now, too, Alabama's not recruiting Chris. I guarantee you can go throughout the league, any dude that has a son that's playing in high school and their legacy at that college is recruiting them. Alabama is not recruiting Chris. And to me, that's a sign that they don't give a shit. And so I don't give a shit about them. They don't give a shit about me. So I am no longer an Alabama fan.
Stop it.
No, I'm serious, dude.
Yeah.
Here's my thing.
I
get all that. I get it. You want the school that you play ball at to also recruit your sons.
Mm-hmm.
I also feel as though this is coming about you relinquishing your fandom of your school. This is coming about
around the time
that they lose.
No. I said
on
this
the
before.
slide.
I said this before.
You said you were not happy with them for not recruiting. You didn't say you were going to relinquish your fandom. That's different.
It's over. It's not because of this game, because I still think the football team can get a little bit more season and they can still win it, because there's no, other than Georgia, there's nobody out there that really scares me. Look at Texas. They killed our DBs. I'm still saying we had 2 touchdowns to get called back, meaning Alabama. So it's not like I'm afraid. That they're going to be losing. I relinquish it. Relinquish it early. And if they win it, I'm happy for them. I'm happy for the program. I'm really happy for the state. But I'm just not rooting for the Tide in anything.
Okay.
Unless they recruit Chris, and then I jump back on the bandwagon.
But see, here's the thing.
If they're in the SEC championship game, it's going to be like that. Like right
I'm coming to Georgia. I'm putting me some Georgia gear. I'm like, Let's go,
Oh,
dogs.
get out of here. Every fiber of your being must hurt to even joke about that.
If Bama would have beat Texas, we wouldn't be having this conversation.
Yes, we would have this conversation. I'd be like, hey, play Mike Malone. I don't give a shit.
I don't give a shit.
I'm telling you.
I don't give a shit.
You don't care. All right.
Hey,
all right.
Spectrum was having the war with ABC. I mean, ABC and ESPN.
Disney.
So I didn't even watch the game, which I could have went somewhere and watched it. I usually I would do that. I didn't even care. I'm not watching this game.
Man,
okay.
You're like me with the Falcons. After 28-3, I never went back. That was it.
Yeah,
I never went back. I never went back.
You didn't attend the University of Falcons.
No, I didn't.
Attended the University of Alabama.
You're right. I didn't.
And I don't think a lot of Alabama people out there are very happy about this.
But am I right or am I wrong though? Please tell me if I'm wrong. I would.
Well, let me ask you this question. I think part of this is gonna. I don't know if this might not sound mean, but it might sound mean. Is he good enough to be recruited by Alabama?
Yes.
Okay.
Because
that's part of it too, right? Like maybe he doesn't
fit
fit what they're trying to do, or offensively he's not the player they're looking for.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like there's levels to that.
But here's my whole thing. If you look at Alabama basketball, they have 2, 3, 4 gun charges on that team.
Yeah.
You've got a lot of bad fucking light on your program. What would be better? And I'm not. And
that was during the tournament last year.
I'm not even trying to put this, but how put a program? It's a legacy. Robert Orr, who's considered one of the best players ever played in your program, son is coming. The legacy continues. Now you can shed some of that bad light, and now you put some new light up. And I'm saying that's just one of the things you could do. If you go to that building, my picture's all over that fucking building, inside. And that's the problem with I have with it. Don't use my fucking likeness and then you won't recruit my son.
Name, image, and likeness.
Yeah, that's my whole point. I'm like, I need my fucking money because you got my name.
Rob's trying to cash in a 30-year-old NIL deal.
What my interest?
Well, guess what? I'll say this. Your picture up there for now.
Yeah. And I don't give a shit if they take it down.
Today's podcast, there's some dude out there with a paint roller.
Hey, they never gave me the money while I was there. So it's and I think I won the SEC championship 3 times while I was there, Sweet 16 twice. And so for me, there is something with the legacy. I'm just saying, I think I can't think of like Carmelo's son's getting recruited by USC, LeBron's son, even though he didn't go to Ohio State, they was on LeBron's. And there's just so many, those are the 2 guys on top of I'm sure there's more out there, but just think about that. You know what I mean? If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. Say I'm wrong. I say, okay. But I just think in this case, even if it's just,
a formality, would you be okay with a form like, hey, they call, he does a campus visit?
No. I want some real shit. That's almost like when I broke Kareem's, record. I'm like, don't just put me out there to get the most playoff games and then snatch me out. No, that doesn't count. Make the shit real. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Okay. All right. I get it. I get it. I'm not saying this to be a dick, but it kind of seems a little petty. You know what I mean? Like but I get it. I'm not faulting you because I'm petty as fuck. So
well,
that's what I'm saying. I'm like, if you think I'm wrong. But I just think it's only right. The legacy continues, I should say. Okay.
Well, I'm gonna be selfish. There go my opportunity to get any form of Alabama football tickets.
Oh no, hell no! You're all the way out. You're all the way out. Tell you, call Prime. We'll get you to a Colorado game. All right.
Well, there goes that.
Actually, we will not be getting you to.
I still have powerful alumni that I'm friends when I talk to. If you need tickets, you have to let me know. I call them. I won't call the university because if I call the university, they make me pay for my fucking tickets anyway. So why am I calling them? You know what I mean?
Damn. Damn. All right.
I hope these relationships are still intact after this episode.
To be determined. Look, if this podcast has proven anything, it's great at ruining relationships with people. All right, we've been on display for that all week. I promise you, we're really good at that. Really good at that. Let's do a big shot of the week, then we're going to play our game. Speaking of ruined relationships, the game this week is called Starter Pack. Which.
Hey, but let me go back to before we Big Shot. When I was talking about the 4 snaps, I was talking about Aaron Rodgers only played 4 snaps before.
Oh my
Achilles.
God! All right,
yeah.
I made a note to talk about it and forgot. It did come back this morning that he did indeed tear his Achilles, and he will miss the entire 20.
Hey, when I saw it, I knew he tore it because it was just like KD's. It looked exactly like KD's, where his whole
there was a lot of
calf
speculation. There was a lot of speculation. But it is officially official that he did tear his Achilles. He'll miss the rest of the season.
You think he's out for? Is it over for him?
That's what I was going to say. There's a lot of question marks about does he ever play again.
I think he does because I think he's the type of guy. He's not going to want to go out like this. The welcoming that the Jets fans gave him, the way he ran out, all of that, I think he's committed to saying, if I'm going to go out, I'm not going out like this. 4 snaps?
4 snaps.
No, he ain't going out like this. Yeah. Not Aaron Rodgers. No.
Hey, it's tough to come back from an Achilles injury. And then at that age, it's going to be even tougher.
39
years old. And look, man, I got no love or like for Aaron Rodgers. I was never really a Green Bay fan. I mean, I don't like or dislike him. That sucks. I really feel for him because let's be honest, that defense is awesome. And so if you think about it as a player, the Jets, it's the Jets. It's like for the first time I can't even remember how long, Jets fans had hope. And they should know better that the universe does not allow you to have hope as a Jets fan.
How close did you grow up to a Jets
I grew up
facility?
in Central Jersey. So either your friends were Giants fans or Jets fans. They were either Nets fans or Knicks fans. They were Islanders fans or Rangers fans. They were Mets fans or Yankees fans. So you had your little group of 4, and you picked opposite sides and all your friends. I grew up a Giants fan only because my dad was a Giants fan. And I never rooted for the Jets. I never disliked the Jets, though.
Yeah.
But it's the Jets. It's perfect Jets. And I absolutely hate it for Aaron Rodgers. I agree with you, B. I don't think he wants to go out that way. I don't think he wants to end his career.
He don't want to go out there, but would that body permit him to stay?
See, I think he takes pretty good care of himself. I think he's usually pretty vocal about the fact that he takes good care of himself. So let's see. He may try to rehab it, and it may not work. And then he might have to go, hey, look, I just can't. But I think he's going to give it every shot. I don't think he's just going to fold up tents and go home. I think he's going to give it every shot.
Hey, he need to go to wherever KD went, wherever Kobe went, because
I think that's who's doing it. I think that's who's going to do the surgery.
Yeah.
Good. But yeah, that I hate that for Aaron Rodgers. That's terrible. Big shot of the week is going to go to an Atlanta native this week. She's get her up off the floor because she just won the U.S. Open.
Get up, Coco Gauff. You just won the U.S. Open.
At 19 years old, Coco Gauff wins the U.S. Open and the $3 million grand prize that comes with winning the U.S. Open, which, by the way, was the same thing that Djokovic won for the men's. $3 million.
Oh, so, that's awesome.
Big shot of the week to 19-year-old Coco Gauff for winning the U.S. Open. That is freaking dope.
Isn't she like one of 4 teenagers that have won a major?
It's something like that.
Something like that.
I don't know the exact number.
That's awesome, man.
It's just, but I think one of the coolest videos I saw, and I'm sure you guys probably saw it, is there's like a video floating around of, I want to say.
She was on live.
Yeah, she's like 10 or 11 years old, and she's in the stands.
Oh, that one.
And she's dancing at the U.S. Open, and it's like, man, in 8 years, that's you. In 8 years, you're going to be out on that floor in just 8 freaking years, and you're going to bring home the U.S. Open title. I thought
she probably looked at you and like, thank you.
Yeah, that was another video floating around. I think she went live on Instagram.
Oh, she did, like TikTok or something. Yeah.
Yeah, and everybody was talking about
and everything. Yeah.
What she should do with the $3 million and things of that nature. And it's like, y'all, I live at she said, I live at home with my parents. That's not what I'm gonna do with the money and things of that. So it's at 19 years old and having that level of fame, and now, you have all of this coming at you, people on live talking to you in your kind of way, and at 19 years old to be able to be like, No, I'm not doing that. No, I'm not doing this. I live at home with my folks. That's not the way they raised me, and this is that and the third.
Smart woman. Yeah.
Yeah, to be that young and be that, focused and intelligent, but to win the way that you do, you have to.
Oh. And on the biggest stage.
On the biggest stage.
Man, just a cool story. So she got big shot of the week. All right, look.
That's on my bucket list. I want to go to U.S. Open and the Wimbledon, those two, because I love tennis.
Man, I'll tell you what, Wimbledon is that ain't an easy ticket. If you can get into Wimbledon, good for you, because I've been told that's a tough.
I know
ticket.
an Alabama alumni can get me in.
Oh, sure you do. Yeah. Now that you've disavowed all connections to the University of Alabama, you think they're getting your ass into Wimbledon?
I'm gonna take you up on that ticket offer, though.
You better hurry up.
Yeah. That shit got an expiration date on it as of today's show. Let's see, the show goes live about 4 o'clock. You better get your request in.
Oh, man.
You better get your damn request in. All right, look, I got cooked by our buddy Gilbert Arenas this week for not knowing who was a starter and who wasn't on the Team FIBA USA lineup. So this week's game is called Starter Pack. Because if we can't have fun with getting cooked by somebody, then damn it, what are we even doing here?
Exactly.
I'm going to throw you guys just some random starter type questions, and you got to see if you can pull it out. First question is going to go to Robert Ory. Can you name the starting 5 for the OG 1992 Dream Team? Now, we know that roster was loaded. Do you know who the starting 5 were?
You know some of them.
Oh, I know Jordan, Magic, Bird. I don't know if it was. I know Patrick Ewing was the starting center.
One to go.
So it's like, because sometimes it was Barkley, sometimes it was Karl Malone that started, and I know Barkley switched out with Bird, and it went off. So I know the first game was, I think it was Karl Malone. I'll go with Karl Malone.
You had it. You backtracked on it. It was Barkley. It was Barkley. Yeah.
It's Barkley?
It was Barkley. Yeah. That was your original starting 5.
See, you sure about that?
Yeah, well, I mean,
because sometimes did Bird.
Look, have we proven nothing? I don't know what the hell I'm talking about. I'm going to record it on.
I know one game they moved Bird out and put Barkley, and so
they moved everybody in and out of the lineup.
So that's one of those things
that was what the internet spit back at me. That was your starting 5.
3 consistent was Magic, Jordan and Ewing. Those were the 3 consistent.
As far as starters, yeah.
Yeah.
The internet said your first game was Ewing center, Charles power forward, small forward was Bird, shooting guard was Jordan, and your point guard was Magic.
Yeah.
So, all right, Harp Dog. Starter jackets were a must.
I love those.
Were a must for fans in the 90s. But the Bulls was only the second most NBA starter jacket. What was the first?
Oh, I think I know this one. Was it the Hornets?
It was the Charlotte Hornets. Hell yeah, it was.
Yeah.
Because that 90s, and Rob, you've talked about it, man. That 90s Charlotte look.
Yes.
Oh, man, that was something.
Hey, Grandmama and Zoe and Muggsy.
Yeah, it was the Alonzo Mourning days. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, they had the Charlotte Hornets on the map because it was like you already got Grandmama who took it to another level. Then you added Zoe, it took it to they wasn't winning, but they had a lot of followers.
They had a lot of style. A lot of style. And
every one of them got the bus with the shades and the suits and the briefcases like they was going to put in work.
Yep.
And then walk into the arena and get their ass kicked.
But shit, they look fly doing it. I got to tell you, they look good. And I always loved watching Muggsy play because the dynamic of that, I just always thought was the coolest thing ever with Grandmama, Zoe, and Muggsy. I just thought that trio was great for Charlotte. But yeah, Charlotte Hornets were the most popular by a ways. Do you know what the most popular NFL team was for starter jackets? Rob?
Probably the Giants.
No, it wasn't. I don't even know.
Was it the Niners?
No. They were up there, but they weren't number 1.
Mm-hmm.
It's the freaking Miami Dolphins.
Oh, that makes sense.
I guess because of the color scheme.
Colors?
The orange and the teal, and, I don't know. But I had a Hawks starter jacket. I love my starter jacket.
I always wanted a starter jacket, and my mom like, I ain't wasting my money on all that. So
I think I said that. My mom said that too, and I just badgered the hell out of her. You know me. I won't stop talking until I get my way. She was just like, fine, shut up here.
Eventually I had a starter jacket that said starter, but it didn't have a team on it.
It's just a plain-ass black jacket. What is that? It's not a starter. It ain't got no team on it. Yeah, it's a starter, though. All right.
I represented everybody.
Rob, Start Me Up was the 1990s hit by the Rolling Stones. It was used by what company to roll out their signature 1995 product that resulted in a bunch of middle-aged dancing white men on a stage? I'll give you a hint. One of them owns the Clippers.
Oh.
Was it Google?
Harp?
Give me that question one more time.
Start Me Up was the 1995 hit by the Rolling Stones, was used to roll out the 1995 signature product. For what company? The hint was one of the guys on stage dancing to this was...
Microsoft.
Yeah, that's right. It was Windows 95. Windows 95.
Steve Ballmer.
The very famous video of Steve Jobs and Wozniak and Steve Ballmer, or not Steve Jobs, freaking Bill Gates, all on stage dancing to Start Me Up. Just the most awkward middle-aged white guy dancing. I told them, just throw them the electric slide. They'll be fine. But no, they went with Start Me Up. Start Me Up. That's all they had. All right, Harp Dog. What actor is credited with the quote, "Don't start nothing, won't be nothing"?
Don't start nothing, won't be nothing.
Don't start nothing, won't be nothing.
I thought I heard this in Men in Black, but I thought it was older than that. Actor. This wasn't... Oh, jeez. This isn't James Baldwin, is it?
No.
Is it Will Smith?
It is Will Smith.
I
was sitting there watching you talk yourself out of the right answer.
But I thought it was old. I don't know why I thought this.
Yeah, no, it was credited to Will Smith, Men in Black. Don't start nothing, won't be nothing.
But I thought it was older than that.
It's so funny how we've been saying that since we were like kids on the playground. All of a sudden, Will Smith says it
in a movie, he gets credit for it. Yeah.
He gets credit for it. I'm like, don't start none, won't be none.
It's probably been around a lot longer than that. Yeah, it's been around, but
I thought
as
that
far
was
as
something
film
that was
quotes go,
yeah,
it's credited to Will Smith. All right, Rob, if you're going to jump start your car, remember this is called Starter Pack. If you're going to jump start your car, what are the two colors of the cables?
Black and red.
There you go. Very nice job. You've jump started a car in your day, have you not?
Dude, I'm from Alabama. You try to jump start everything.
You jump start a buddy off the playground, man. He's down.
Exactly.
Jump his ass.
Hey, you even put the battery out there. You put it on the, and he put it on the fence. And I thought someone's trying to get in my fence.
Oh God, that is the most backwoods electrified fence security system. Oh, that's brilliant. I never even thought of that, but I'm doing that shit when I get home. One of the boys going to try and sneak in the back and be like, "Gah."
Yeah, man, we did everything as little kids, man. Like, hey, put the battery on there. Go take the battery out of your dad's old. My grandfather had a fastback, and it used to just sit there and like you would open the door and sit in there like we were driving. And so one day we took the battery out and hooked up the cables to the fence.
Oh no!
And just to see what would happen. It was some assholes, little kids.
Who got caught with that one?
Society. Nobody. We put it back before he got home. Back in the day, your grandparents
catch
were like
an ass whooping, man.
They'd be home between 5:15 and 5:30 every day. So 5 o'clock, you better start cleaning up.
Y'all better put the battery back in Grandpa's car, man. He gonna whoop you with them jumper cables. All right, Hart. The assassination of Archduke Franz Ferdinand is recognized as the official start of what historical event?
Who the hell is the Archduke Franz?
Archduke Franz Ferdinand.
I think he's from
he got his ass
Austria.
Shot. Yeah, but it's the start of what big historical event?
I'm gonna say it was World War I.
And you are absolutely correct. It was World War I. Yep.
See, You better than me because I thought Ferdinand was the guy from Shrek.
God damn. Wow. I go too highbrow with these games sometimes. It's my fault. This is my fault. I should know my audience. This is another mistake I've made. I should know who I'm talking to. All right, last question. We're going to end it on a start. Robert.
Oh, Lord.
Robert Horry probably knows the answer to this. So we'll throw it to Hart and see if he can get it. Who had more career starts? Gilbert Arenas or Robert Horry? Career starts, regular season starts, by the way. We're going with regular season starts.
I want to say this is a trick question, but no. I'm going to say Rob.
Rob, who do you think had more career starts, you or Gilbert?
I only started for my first 5 years. Of my
was
career,
a trick question.
And then I went to the bench. So I'm going to say Gilbert.
Robert Horry, 480 career starts. Gilbert Arenas, 455 career starts.
Oh, wow.
So it was Robert Horry.
I would have bet Gilbert because I was coming off the bench for think about Laker years, San Antonio years.
You didn't catch a start with the Lakers?
I had a couple. You know what? My the 1 year Shaq got hurt. I forgot the whole season Shaq started off on the bench. I started and I played like 30 minutes a game and wore my ass out. Hey, my body was used to 24 minutes. By the end of the season, I was dead tired. Lost like 20 pounds, man. I was so skinny at the end of that season.
Yeah, because
it was awful.
You were playing in LA, but your knees were in Houston still. They're like, man, we ain't young anymore.